Does that scene go up? Or should I skip that? All right.
We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 251
Or should I
of
skip that?
boogLIFE, pitted with action and Manny V.
That's right. Let me put this on pause on YouTube. And now we do have the chat available for us, Jackson. So 251.
251. I'm Action Jackson. This is Manny V, and here we are, plugging right along.
Yep. Sorry we are late. I had to pick up a friend from the airport. Unfortunately, we got hung up a little bit, but we're here now, Jackson.
Which is fine by me because I showed up early and took a power nap on Manny's floor.
It's so quiet here.
You know what? Manny's new place is very tranquil, very peaceful, and very scenic, whichever side you're looking at, whether it's up in the hills or towards the ocean. And I enjoy hanging out here.
It's pretty quiet, and unfortunately, it's temporary. But within 3 or 4 months, we're moving back towards where we were before. But yeah, we're here now. What's up, Jeremy Harris? Saying what's up. Hey, guys.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Good to hear from you, brother.
Yeah, again, sorry for being late, but here we are ready to rock and roll.
All right, so let's get into it. First and foremost, shout outs. My shout out this week goes to Dave Goodrich from Alternative Surf. Over the weekend, he was hospitalized. I'm not going to go into his personal details, but I just wanted to wish him well. Dave, we're thinking about you.
My shout outs, yeah, Dave, we love you, brother, and yeah, we're here if you want to freaking reach out, and we're more than happy to come visit you one more time again for another boogLIFE show in your shop. So let us know, keep us posted on your how things are going. Shout outs for me, Jackson, is going to go to PMA. I got to see him this weekend. Actually, this weekend was pretty action packed.
Oh, this was by far, hands down, the best weekend I have enjoyed so far in 2023.
Very unexpected. Didn't expect to see PMA. I knew I was going to see the Meyer brothers, Kai and Rafi, at Paul Roach's 50th birthday, and saw Nels Velocito, Ian Robb, Reese was there. So those three guys, Reese, Ian Robb, and Nels Velocito, were the three of the top guys behind Elemental P bodyboards back in the day. So it was good to see them back together. And yeah, it was a pretty awesome event for Paul Roach's 50th birthday. But shout outs for me, PMA. Just hearing from things that are coming, about to go down through his words are pretty amazing. And I'm really excited to see what he's going to produce. But you see him every day.
Yep. And I've seen what he's working on. I've seen what he's about to unleash on the bodyboarding world. And I am grateful for the opportunity to be learning from such a creative genius.
Yeah, I mean, he to me is he's my custom board shaper. So I'm very stoked to have him right down the road and to hear the cool things that are about to be unveiled, shown to the world.
New Custom X board line coming very, very soon.
Yeah, so you're gonna hear it first through Jackson, probably on Custom X, because you'll hear it first from them, but then you'll hear it right here as well. But yeah, very excited. Shout outs to you, Pete. Love you, and I do have to put in my board order.
I'm glad mine's already in. For those of you who don't recall, the last time it came around for Manny to put in a board order, he kind of cut the line, so to speak.
I was leaving in 2 days. I forgot to put in a board. I was going on a trip without a board, and unfortunately, some people got bumped. Somebody got bumped, but I was able to get the board in time for my trip. But somebody had to wait just a few more days longer.
Just goes to show who's got the pull. I may work at Custom X, but he's Manny Vargas.
Really quick, High Plain Drifter. I was looking for buckwheat in OC this past storm on the East Coast, NFs. So yeah, I don't know if buckwheat's still in the water.
I believe so, but from what I saw being posted on Facebook, I think the water is still a little too cold on the East Coast for buck to get out in the water.
Okay.
Because just to allude a little bit, J Real was back home for a family function in Ocean City, Maryland. Met up with Brian Stower and Mike Strawley. They scored the goods in Ocean City, but unfortunately, Buck wasn't able to join them out in the water.
Yeah.
And also, just to kind of roll back a little bit to what you were talking about with our epic weekend.
Yes.
Not only did we get to catch up with a bunch of people at Paul Roach's 50th birthday party on Saturday, Friday night, we got to cruise up to Dana Point for a little bonfire and barbecue on the beach and hanging out with bodyboarding legends JP Patterson, Tony Prince, and Gina Minetti. And it was you, me, JG's son, and pretty solid crew.
Yeah, JP's wife was there on hand as well. And I mean, when JP is manning the grill, you are sure to have your belly full. He had brisket and also
grilled spam.
That's right.
I love spam. People bust my balls about it back home in New Jersey, but I love spam. I've never had it off the grill before. Delicious.
It was actually really good. I think I ate like half of what was available. So yeah, I gotta burn those calories of whatever spam is made of. Do we know what it's made out of?
I'm going to quote the great outdoors from the late great John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. Same thing as hot dogs, lips and assholes.
All right, so grilled spam. That was actually really good. Catch up with some stories from those guys. JP, I'll tell you the story. And I think he said it in his interview here on boogLIFE, but JP, he told me a bunch of stories, but the one story he likes telling is how he started bodyboarding. He was a body surfer, JP Patterson, at Jack Lindholm, and JP always hung out at Sandy Beach. Jack had a board, a kit board, and JP rolled up to go body surfing. Jack, after taking a big long hit of weed, told JP to go try the board out, and he did. And next thing you know, he was hooked. And that's how JP Patterson got started bodyboarding, was borrowing a very stoned Jack Lindholm.
Hey man, it's funny how things happen.
That's how it's happened for JP Patterson.
All right, so now we'll roll into bodyboard news. A lot going on this past weekend. We just talked a little bit about what we were running around doing. Up in Ventura, Dave Long ran the second annual Master Blaster Invitational at Emma Woods State Beach. And you know what? Solid group showed up for the event. And I have the people worthy of note right here, taking the win at Master Blaster. Encinitas lifeguard, Jesse Kerr.
What?
Yep. So the Master Blaster trophy came back down to San Diego this time.
Nice.
And winning the vintage division, you were required to ride a board that was at least 20 years, if not older. Winning the vintage division, Jacob Reeve.
Oh, damn, he showed up.
Yes, indeed. Jacob Reeve showed up and won the vintage division. And winning wave of the day was Julian Duran with a long, clean barrel ride.
Damn.
So you know what? The boys got together. They had a good time. And, you know, the waves weren't big. It was like 2 to 3 foot. But, hey, 2 to 3 foot with wide open reeling barrels sounds like a thing.
and hanging out with the fellow masters of the sport. It definitely would have been fun. I wish I could have made that. I was what did I do? Paul Roach's birthday, and yeah, I had a boat trip, but it sounded like they had a good time. Curtis Payan said he was going to head up, woke up, saw the forecast, and he decided not to make that 2-hour drive. But it's one of those places I would love to go, even no matter what size.
Come on, dude. Curtis, man, you should have been on that.
I know.
What's up?
I threw you under the bus. Sorry, brother. Bodyboarding news on my end. Tomorrow we drop the Kyle Milagro interview here on boogLIFE for our T Street and Off the Wall patrons. You get the audio. I mean, everybody gets the audio. T Street, Off the Wall, and Pipeline patrons. You guys are going to get the audio. For the Off the Wall and the Pipeline patrons, you guys get to see the video. Big Todd was on hand for that interview, so he threw out some questions too. It's going to be a pretty awesome interview to listen to. Again, I was very. There's a couple things in there. I'm like, oh shit, I did not know that. And the cool thing about it is, it took me 2 years of asking Kyle Milagro for this interview, and what did it was, Kyle, come on the Zoom chat. We don't have to talk about bodyboarding at all. Let's just talk about what you got going on now, and I'll be fine with that. And right after the intro, straight into bodyboarding. It was freaking awesome. And we talked about bodyboarding most of the time. He did talk about his new sport that he's taken up, but it was just really cool how he, talked about the history, talked about the Quiet Classic, and a lot of other cool things. So that's dropping tomorrow. And I'm really excited to have Araya, who won the women's junior down in Brazil. Her mom said yes to being on board to having me interview her daughter. So that's going to be happening in the next few days. Pipeline patrons, you guys are going to be invited to come watch live and be a part of it if you have any questions from the young winner of the event. And also that'll be posted 2 weeks from now for everybody else. But yeah, I'm really excited to talk to her.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm also definitely looking forward to the Kyle Milagro interview. For those of you who don't know, Kyle Milagro was part of the Kauai Classic bodyboard team back in the late 80s and early 90s. The team was super innovative. They rode together, they trained together, they lived together, and Kyle himself, an absolute style master, prone and drop knee. He was doing things back in the late 80s, early 90s that are still considered progressive today.
I mean, in the interview, you'll hear how they pushed each other to be good at both, just because it added to their repertoire of maneuvers and having fun as a group. But yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Those guys, especially Kyle, were a huge influence on me when I was at Grom, and even a couple of my friends. And I cannot wait. In case I haven't said that 6 times already.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
And I did reach out to Neymara as well, the organizer of the event. I saw a lot of the highlights yesterday, and it really touched me on seeing all the camaraderie, all the things she put together. I think there was a father-daughter or mother-daughter heat, as well as also, challenged athletes heat. Those, I was like, holy crap, this is freaking awesome. Reached out to her and told her I really like to interview her and just talk about the event and how she pulled it off and what needs to be done to have that as a standard for all bodyboarding events. So that's going to be on tap.
Yeah, the Wahine Pro was pretty innovative. I mean, obviously an all women's event, but the fact that they had an adaptive division, they ran amateurs where we got to see Carla Costa's mother compete in her 80s and throwing it down out in the water. So gotta give props for that. And then, also the Pro Junior Women's, which Manny was talking about, won by 15-year-old from Hawaii.
Yep.
And for me, something I truly appreciate, given my love of the history of the sport, the women's masters division, which we didn't mention in news, but I'll mention now, winning for the second time. You know, they've run the women's masters world championship twice. It's been won twice by former three-time women's world champion Mariana Nogueira. So she's three-time women's world champion and now two-time women's masters champion.
It's so cool to see that.
So epic.
Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned for those interviews. But I have a question for you. I hate to put you on the spot, Jackson, but when was the last time a world title in any female division was brought back to either Hawaii, US Continental, or Puerto Rico?
You'd have to go to the ISA for that one.
Okay.
Natasha Sagadia, Jared Houston's wife, won ISA World Games.
Okay.
I don't recall the year off the top of my head, but she did it. And also Chris Cunningham, 1988, I want to say. He won the World Games in Puerto Rico. Chris Cunningham, obviously from right here in California, the only professional US bodyboarder to ever win any kind of world title whatsoever.
Wow.
So yeah.
From the continental US.
From the continental US.
Yeah.
Hawaii, you can run the list.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason
Or you can check Bodyboarding 101 for the list of men's world champions, which will be updated soon. And since we're bringing it up, I will be rebranding and relaunching by June 12th. So stay tuned for that. I'll have more information as it develops.
So the reason why I ask is Araya could be the next person, because her talent at her age is surpassing some of the riders that have been at it much longer than she has. So it's going to be fun to watch her. So you're going to hear her name in.
There's two pro junior women's competitors I would keep my eye on for women's pro bodyboarding success. The one you just mentioned, the young Hawaiian, and the defending pro junior world champion, Luna Hardman, daughter of five-time women's world champion, Neymar Carvalho.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch those two.
It runs in the family. And you know what? To see a Hawaii-Brazilian rivalry, that's going to be good stuff, man. That's going to be popcorn worthy. Yeah. Worth the price of admission.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting. That's we need to hype that up.
Oh, most definitely.
All right. So yeah, bodyboarding news. That's all I got for you.
All right. And that brings us to this week's music spotlight. Again, we didn't pull up any videos just because we've been trying to steer clear of any copyright infringement issues, which again, I will reiterate, we did not have an issue with any punk, hardcore, or indie label bands. It's just the major label bands and their management companies that seem to have a stick up their ass. So we won't go there. But this week's music highlights, because I've actually got two. On Friday, Strife reissued their 2012 record, Witness a Rebirth. It's been remastered, reissued on Los Angeles-based indie label War Records. Definitely worth checking out for those of you who like heavy, aggressive music. Strife is a hardcore band that's been around since the early to mid 90s. And on this record specifically, Igor Cavalera from Sepultura played drums. So you want an aggressive, positive message and just a record that doesn't let up from start to finish. Witness a Rebirth by Strife, reissued for its 10th anniversary. And
we'll put the links for the Wahine Pro highlights, all the links that we're talking about, we'll put them in the chat on YouTube.
And second, I've been looking forward to this one. Drain from Santa Cruz, California, is finally dropping their new record on Epitaph Records on this Friday. This record has been a long time in the making, and from the first few tracks I've heard off of it, I can't wait to see these guys live. And just in case none of you have ever seen any of Drain's videos or seen them live in concert, super heavy, aggressive, hardcore band from Santa Cruz, California, that likes to throw bodyboards and pool toys into the crowd. They jokingly refer to the stage as Drain Beach, and it's not uncommon to see pool noodles, beach balls being bounced around, thrown around in the pit. And my personal favorite, boogie mosh. People stage diving with bodyboards, people crowd surfing with bodyboards, people moshing through the pit, swinging bodyboards. It's one of the coolest things I've ever freaking seen. So, you know, they grew up in Santa Cruz, California. They know that beach lifestyle. They incorporate it into some very heavy at times metallic hardcore. And I cannot wait for Friday to come because I'm going to be blasting the hell out of this record. Yeah, 48 going on 18.
We'll put the links in the chat here in YouTube.
All right, and so with music spotlight out of the way, now it's time for the boogLIFE video of the week. I don't know if you pulled it up at all.
That's easy to do.
It's the latest clip from Breaking Even TV, which has become one of my favorite go-to channels for bodyboard videos. And it's the opening day, May 2023 wedge footage.
Ooh, perfect. Yeah, let's pull that up.
Yeah, most of you have probably already seen that clip of a bodyboarder running over another bodyboarder and Jamie O'Brien's pink soft top getting kicked out in the background. But this is a little less hectic, just super fun to watch. I would skip to the 440 mark in this video. At the beginning of the video, it's just kind of a lead in with Craig Wetter and Tanner McDaniel cruising up to Newport Beach, parking, walking up to the beach and checking out the surf. But
Ready.
The first wedge swell is in the books.
Let's see it. We'll put this link as well. Sometimes we've been having issue with the audio, but Blackball did go up May 1st. Oh, so the first day of the swell hits on Blackball, which means you're not allowed to bodyboard or surf between the hours of 9 to 5 at the wedge. You got to wait. Body surfers love that.
Bodyboarders hate it.
Well, there's a story behind that. Body surfers knew somebody somewhere in the Newport Beach Council, and it's political, but you know what? And that happened in the late 80s, I believe, or early 80s. It happened in the 80s, and since then it's been body surfers got the prime time of the day.
And I hate to be Debbie Downer, but for all of you guys out there that have always entertained the idea of a bodyboarding contest at the wedge, given the long-running state of affairs at the wedge in Newport Beach, never gonna happen.
Not gonna happen unless it's fully underground. And we've talked about something like that. Oh, did they just give a little tip?
Yes, they did. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're riding the wedge or anywhere else. If you're out on a surfboard, it doesn't matter if it's fiberglass or soft top. You never go fins up or fins out because that's just asking to impale somebody. That's simple wave riding etiquette 101. Yeah.
Actually, like really fun, not too scary, perfect size. To get your feet warm or your feet wet.
You know what? I would have loved to have been out for this session. To slide through some of the little inside barrels. I'm always down for a little barrel time.
Yeah. Guessing he has the mouthpiece, GoPro mouthpiece. Oh, look at that launch ramp. Sick.
Yeah, Craig is pretty handy with the mouth mount.
All right, we will post this. You can watch the rest of it. You can watch it from the beginning. Look at that launch ramp right there. That looks pretty sick. Good call, Jackson.
All right, so and just like that, sometimes it goes way too fast. Most of the time it goes way too fast. We're already at our weekly motivation. So to wrap things up this week, I have a quote from the late great father of bodyboarding, Tom Moray himself. Handle every situation like it's a wave. A wave is an opportunity. You figure out where the good ones are, you take off, you ride for a certain period of time, and then you pull out. You do not ride the wave to the very end because it dumps on the damn rocks. So pick and choose your waves carefully, and when to get in and get off, how long to stay, and what to do. It's all a progression from birth till death.
Amen.
With that said, it's a wrap. We'll see you next week for episode 252. Until then, I'm Steve Action Jackson, here with the man, the myth, the legend, my good friend Manny V. We'll see you next